Go.
Hello, this is my undefeated first place branded Synchro deck profile. First off, we have 3 Clem, 3 Cortasia, and 3 Fallen of Albaz. These are the main key cards of the deck. Clem allowing you to serve Bistials by sending him a carrier like Albion, having a level 605 Dark Dragon with Albion. Cortasia allows you to play through Ash even while fusion lock because of branded fusion. Like, especially with drawing a Fallen of Albaz, it allows you to make Albion and then make something like Grand Gold, making the field a little more stronger. For Bistials, we have 3 Lubellion, 3 Sonya, 3 Juris, and 1 Bistial Oliver and Megamut. These cards are really solid in the format right now, being able to hinder the decks such as Tier Element and Unchained, and also act as extenders to make our Synchro plays. With Lubellion being able to Rhoda for our key combo Bisteel, which is Sarnia, allowing us to set up our graveyard either to get Lubellion if we haven't drawn it, or send Retribution or Regain to set up immense follow-up or stronger boards. And Bistial Oliver here just because it's Albaz engraved. For all other Albaz monsters, we have 1 Kit, 1 Macaria, 1 Albion. Kitties here is a 1-card starter of High Spirits if that's all you have in hand. Macarias are going to be one of your primary banishes off of Bistial instead of Clem alongside Albion, mostly because it's also Albaz engraved. It will provide you far more advantage than Albaz does, or you can send an Albaz if that's what you need. Macaria's negate is also quite strong. Like if you hard draw with a brand fusion, you can like negate a Shizu effect, which is quite nice. For monster hand traps, we have 3 Ash, which is relatively good right now against Rescue Ace, Labyrinth, and being able to stop Prosperity and something like Splight. So it's still worth playing this deck, even though there isn't as much of a non-instant count. For spells, we have 3 Branded Fusion, 3 Branded High Spirits, 1 Branded Red, 1 Branded White, 1 Regain, 1 Beast. Branded Fusion is still at 3. It is so powerful going second as like a board breaker. You can threaten Synchro plays, and if your opponent tries to stop it, you can just play a Branded Fusion, and it becomes a lot stronger, so they're wasting more interruptions and stuff that shouldn't matter as much. High Spirits is important as it will set up your graveyard to summon your Bistials a lot easier, as if your Clem gets impermed, it can really be hard to play through it if you don't get access to these cards. Branded Red is still one of the most powerful sets in the deck, being able to either make Mirror Jade during the opponent's turn or Guardian Chimera. And if you're up against like an evenly, you can Branded Red to Sanctifier to prevent them from happening. And White is an extender in this deck so that you can just make Mirror Jade without being fusion locked, essentially. Regain and Beast are the cards you want to get off the Lubellion. Regain being much more solid because it can summon back a Dissipator and Magnemite against Tears, so you can search another Bistial to prevent Tear effects to run off. And Beast is definitely not the greatest, especially with like Tear Element being pretty strong, but it's definitely very good again at setting up Lubellion going first, as if you don't have other Bistials to go with it, Regain can be quite weak, and Beast going second can help break boards, making Lubellion just trade so well with the boards. For other traps, we have 1 Retribution and 3 Income. Retribution is one of the most powerful ones to follow up an extension in the deck, banishing it to add back a Branded Spell Trap, and you can also go Dissipator to shuffle this back to reuse it again. Imperm is also here to potentially stop Turbulence if they don't end on a Little Knight first, and just being able to play around talent is it's extremely popular right now. For the extra deck and Albaz fusions, we have 2 Albion, 1 Lubellion, 2 Mirror Jade, 1 Sanctifier, 1 Rimworm, and 1 Titanic Flag. 2 Mirror Jade in this deck is definitely not the most common thing in here, but it's really nice if your opponent spins or pops your Mirror Jade. You can go like Clem or Rimbrom to Reborn Albaz and make another one, as some extra deck monsters can be quite difficult to fuse into with Albaz, especially if it's not light or dark. Sanctifier, again, is really nice at dealing with evenly, as this deck had been quite used to it in the past, relying on Branded Ren to ad-lib to actually be able to beat the opponent. Windrum is not a card you summon all too often, but it's a really nice send-off Mirror Jade. As if you have an All-Baz engraved, you can if it gets impermed, you can send this for cost and still have an interruption. You also make this if you have to go send Macaria, like you have Ready Fusion in a Bisteel, you can go send Macaria, banish it to add Cortasia, and make a far stronger board. Titanic Cloud is here as you can send it off Mirror Jade to summon a Clem, or even an All-Baz actually, because it can sometimes kill their last monster and end on a Mirror Jade. And also, being this big body, it can out some unaffected powers as well. For the fusions, we have one Grangwall, one Wall Fusion, and one Grading Chimera. Grangwall's Foolish effect from extra or main deck has been extremely good at being able to push through Ash and just send a Lubellion to tribute over and out like Branded Dragon, so you can still get another interruption and get the Albion engraved, so you can still use the effect. The Royal Fusion is good at dealing with back row cards, and you can also pop a Druidus or activate this as Chainlink 1, targeting Cortasia and Chainlink Cortasia to dodge it, still popping their monster, which is really good. And Guardian Chimera is one of the best summons of Inbred by far, especially with Regain, which can chain block it and draw an additional card, which can accumulate a lot of hand advantage. For the Synchros, we have one Dissipator and one Despia Synchro, and then for Links, we have one Striker, one Seal. Dissipator makes the deck what it is, allowing the combos to actually function, and summoning back the guy's banished or Bistios is extremely powerful, essentially making it like a lighter dark monster reborn. The Despia Synchro is here as a summon off the Grangwall, being an imperm for extra deck monsters, and sometimes stopping like a weird short hit, I guess. Seal is something you make off of like extra dragons you have on the field, especially that it's so powerful being able to do multiple interruptions, since you can go bounce, summon All-Baz, fuse into Mirror Jade, and that's 3 interruptions. Striker is here for the amount of dragons we have, just because if you draw a lot of them, you don't want to like pass. And some decks like Rescue Ace really can be like, the Bistios won't be especially powerful there. So Striker is here that you can like link off a level 4 lower dragon and still make Seal. And you can, and also if you have Lubellion or like another Bisteel, you can go Lubellion, add Alimer, and normalize your level 4 lower dragon. For the side deck, we have 3 Droll, 3 Nibiru. You just want to have high impact cards against those dumb combo decks, as you don't want them setting up the board, as you might not be able to break it. Droll being good against the Manadium, Infernoble, the D-Gen combo decks like that. And it can be just randomly good if your opponent's not respecting it, especially that there's so many decks that your opponent might just play into it anyway, because there might be stuff that won't play into it. For spells, we have 3 Dark Ruler, 3 Talent, and then 2 Cosmic, 1 Duster. Dark Ruler, I still think is a fine card, if you still want a card that like trades 1 for many interruptions your opponent has. And Talent is here for going first, as hand traps like Bistios and Imper when Clem, like stopping your stuff can be really annoying. So you either want to draw into much more of your Ascenders like the Bistios, or just hand rip the opponent and then just vibe off that. And then back row, just double Cosmic Duster for back row removal and anti-spell mostly. But the reason why there's 1 Duster is I feel like if my opponent gets an anti-spell on the field, I feel like they're going to have some kind of negate to protect it. So that's the rest of the side deck. Hope you enjoy. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you later. Bye.